Hello, mortals.
Hi.
All right. Oh, it's going to be one of those nights, huh? All right. That's how it's going to be, huh? All right.
I was waiting for everyone.
Everyone to go. It's like when everyone's at the end of the pool and only one person jumps in. Yeah.
All right. Hello, mortals. Welcome to episode 7 of the first season. Oh, it's episode 8. Sorry, episode 8 of Dice Ex Machina. This episode is titled The Broken King. We'll see what that means as we go along. I am, of course, your Myth Keeper, Riley Silverman, and joining me are my champions. I'm going to kick off tonight by introducing the one that is to my right in my screen, which is Lysandros. Lysandros, tell us who the player is and what you're up to.
Hi, everybody. The player who plays me, Lysandros.
Yeah,
sure did
the thing.
Yep, and Jordan Pridgeon's just this guy, and
Yes.
and Lysandros is a satyr rogue who is he's a trickster and a gambler. He's a servant of Erebos, much more directly recently than he has been in the past. And he has an enormous debt.
Sorry,
Wait.
Who's he a servant of?
What did I?
Go on.
Phoenix. Did I say Erebos?
Oh no.
Yeah, I thought maybe you had a conversion between the last episode. I mean, like, honestly, I wouldn't blame you. I would not blame you at all based on what's been happening. But
hard, okay?
Yeah.
God, that's hard. No, I'm a servant of Phoenix now, very directly, and I do illusions and run away from things and stuff like that.
I figured it out. Lysandros is a servant of Phoenix, but Jordan is a servant of Erebos. That's where we got confused. Okay,
Definitely.
Callie would like to know if she gets deity piety points for converting Lysandros.
Ooh, I like that. Yeah.
That may be relevant tonight. We'll see. We'll see how Callie's piety sticks up tonight.
Ooh. Foreshadowing.
Ashlyn, why don't you tell us a little bit about Callie since we're talking about her now?
Hello, everyone. I'm Ashlyn Rose, and I play a Leonin fighter who goes by the name of Callista, or Callie for short. And she serves loosely, a god named Erebos, the god of death. And she's the rough and tough, chip on her shoulder type of fighter. We're finding a little bit more about her backstory these last few episodes, which we'll probably talk about tonight. And that's about all I have to say for now. We found out that she killed her sister, and that's Callie for you. And she hunts the escaped dead for Erebos.
Excellent. And now we'll take us down to our friend Ruben. Ruben, tell us all about your character.
Oh, I didn't see you there. Hi, everybody. I'm the Internet's Mox Ruby, and I am playing Claw, who is a centaur worshiper of the god Nylea, the god of the hunt. And yeah, big fan of Nylea. And I'm also one with the woods. I'm a bit of a survivor. And more recently, I've been focusing more on my culinary arts. Everybody needs a hobby.
Excellent. And last but not least, let's hear about Sweet D.
Hi, my name is Danielle Radford. I play D. D is a human bard. Perforos, the god, is my homeboy. And D is a gladiator in the same way that John Cena is a wrestler.
Yes.
So she's invisible. Gotcha.
You can't see me.
That's delicious. And of course, I had something and I lost it, but that's very fine. I like the idea that D somewhere has a chariot that has a bumper sticker that's been chiseled into it that says Perforos is my homeboy.
It does. It does also have spinning rims. So
of course it does.
Nice.
I get actually probably pretty standard on a chariot if you're thinking about it. Like,
I'm really looking forward. Yeah. I'm really looking forward to D winning a magically relevant championship belt at some point.
Oh yes,
It's gonna be.
I just realized I'm looking forward to making y'all do a chariot race at some point.
Ooh, I also like that.
Interesting.
Wait, hold on. Now, Claw.
You'd be in the front, yes.
Right, I'd be in the front. Okay, cool.
That's up to you, because Claw also turns into whatever animal you can think of to use stairs.
Oh my god, incredible. I am running.
Wait, is Claw pulling the chariot?
Right,
That's what I was thinking.
Is Claw pulling the chariot as Claw, or is Claw pulling the chariot as a giant spider? Who knows? I guess we'll have to find out next time. Oh, we're still doing this episode.
Probably not next time. I'm going to go ahead and say that won't happen next time.
At some point.
Y'all would have to,
maybe.
I sandbox this more than I probably should, but that's a big sandbox.
We start out, it's like, okay, so you went this way. No, we find a town.
Yeah, we would have to really need a lot of money and fix a chariot race to. Anyway,
I'm trying to think of how y'all like if you went back to that town of nomadic humans and we're like, hey, I know you're all packing up your whole lives to run away from this fire, but do you want to have a chariot race while we're at it, just for a fun afternoon?
We are just on the other side of Mounts Velis and Vesios in the I
think you're referring to the Catocthan Mountains.
Yeah, you did.
The Catocthan Mountains are the mountains.
We are.
If you want to know where you are, it's the Catocthan Mountains.
Perfect. We're just on the other side of the big
Light Mountains.
The big volcanoes. We're just on the other side of the big volcanoes of the Catocthans from Akros, where they do have a bunch of gladiator race garbage. So if we want to just give up and start doing something else.
You know what? Phoenix is gonna Phoenix. Let's just do our thing. All right. That's some silliness up top. We do have a lovely show along the way for you, but of course, this show is partially for us because of lovely sponsors like our friends at Hero Forge. And Hero Forge lets you build your own customized miniatures, and now they even have the ability to have your miniatures printed in full color. You can have a lot of fun going through and designing characters for full color. I like to do it. And we've been talking about a lot of characters. Last week, I teased the Return of the Broken Pack by showing off Astaroth and Tutaru. But this week, Dom, if you want to pull that up, I actually went ahead and finished out our Dice Ex Machina champions. We need to think of a cool name for y'all's team. But
it'll happen.
It'll happen naturally. That's fine. And right now, you can see that here's one that I made for Callie. So It is fun. She's like a nice little... I will say I did struggle to figure out shading of cat fur as opposed to even though it's supposed to be that she's covered in fur, it still wanted to kind of read it as skin tone, and so it was very rough to make that happen. But I think I finally got a cool thing. So I found the best representation that I could of Callie's armor. I found a little bit of a little circlet at the top of her head. So there's some cool stuff going on there. So that was fun. Also, I wish that you could actually have it be more like paws for the hands. It's hands, but it is what it is. So I assume that Leonin probably have opposable thumbs. So I think it actually probably works that it's a hand. And speaking of people with opposable thumbs, I also made our friend Dee as a Hero Forge figure. And I based it on the hair that Danielle had last week, and I think this week as well. Nice. I put a little hint of red in her costume because, of course, we know Dee worships Perforos, and Perforos is this solid red magic mana character. So I think maybe red and black. Could be wrong, but definitely some red in Perforos. So I put a little red in there. And
the facial expression is what makes this one.
Oh yeah,
total DreamWorks face.
Literally the description that using for there's a slider and the slider is cockiness. There's actually a smirk and cocky, and I gave the highest level of cocky you could possibly give and a full smirk. So that's there, and the angle was a little bit wrong, but I did give Dee a fancy little sword because we know that Dee has a sword that was given to her by Perforos herself in exchange for a story that she told. So that is our friends at Hero Forge. Definitely check them out. Have fun building yourself some characters. They're also really great they have the ability to actually, you can buy your Perforos. You can buy your Hero Forge designs and use them as tokens. You can get online versions so that when you play in your virtual tabletops and such, you can actually use the things that you built in Hero Forge. And that way you don't have to use artwork that you have stolen from the internet. You can actually create ones for your own characters. Check that out. And of course, the show is also brought to us by our lovely friends, you all in the audience. Thank you so much for supporting. We have had a lot of fun because of things that you have provided for us. Last week, we got to reveal a couple of big things. We got to reveal the Return of Broken Pact. Previous episode, we got to reveal the secrets of Lysandros' connection to Xenagos the Reveler. We previously revealed that Kia the Sage is actually Velma Sweet from the soon-to-be returning Broken Pact. We also got to get to this week's yumminess, which is that I drew randomly from a deck of Magic cards to find out who the champions will be facing this week. And very fun thing that happened there.
Yeah.
You all get the chance to really kind of interact with the game and do a lot of fun things with that. Tonight, we already have rerolls for the whole table, so thank you for that. That's an awesome way to start the game off. Thank you for unlocking that already. And we actually, to begin the game, you are excused. To begin the game, I myself have 1 reroll, and my players have 7 rerolls.
Nice.
And those rerolls have been brought to us by our friends Guess I'm Salad, Jersey Driver, and of course our own friend Dick Portley, who gave 2 rerolls to the table. And unlike Ruben, did not give them to the GM. He gave them to himself.
Jordan can do what he wants. Jordan can do what he wants.
As if Lysandros does not already have umpteen million ways to make sure he passes his rolls. Jordan gave himself 2 rerolls.
This is how I always build characters if I can. I just want to be able to reroll all the dice until I get it to do what I want.
Yeah. And then, of course, before we begin the show, we have 1 toast already in the chamber. You can actually purchase your own toast for only $15, so check that out. But this toast comes with us. Who else would it come from but our friend Jake with Wherewithal, who says, abandoning your destiny to pursue a lucrative career as a charioteer? A charioteer crew, Catocthan Mountains. Abandoning your destiny to pursue a lucrative career as a charioteer crew sounds like a good plan. What are the gods going to do about it? That sounds like a good stuff. So let's go ahead and
Here. They can't catch us. We're moving too fast.
That's right. Mm-hmm. And too fast, they break for nobody.
That's right.
All right, y'all. Let us dive in to this week's episode of Dice Ex Machina, The Broken King. Begin on a pretty peaceful morning. Our champions have had a successful long rest the night before after a pretty rough battle with nemesis from both Claw and Claw and Callista's path. Callie was facing down the ex-betrothed of her sister. We learned that for some reason unknown to the rest of the party, Callie apparently killed her own sister, who was in line to be the leader of her pride. And this character came looking for vengeance, only to find the bitter taste of defeat. But she has snuck away, leaving only a bit of her blood behind, likely possibly to seek vengeance again someday. Who knows? Maybe she'll have a change of heart. See me, sorry. But we had that happen. We also found some of the lampids that were responsible for the death of Claw to begin with. Those were there. So we have that happening. So yeah, lots of stuff going on. And now y'all have had a nice long rest. And how do you begin your morning?
So Claw wakes up with the dawn. I assume he wakes up first, and he will get a fire going, start making a simple batter on the road, and pull out a cast iron pan and make some roadside waffles using some of the blackberries that he picked in the first episode. Those are still good, just a couple days old. And he's watching the sunrise, and he realizes a couple things. Most of the people he takes on his centaurs, Claw's centaurs, aren't particularly remarkable. They aren't particularly gifted or wealthy or anything like that. But this particular group...
Oh, sorry.
Well, this particular group, he's cast Detect Magic around them a couple of times, which means that he knows that each of them has something magical on, which is not a common thing. At least something God touched. So he's preparing to sit down and have a bit of a bone to pick over breakfast with his compatriots.
Okay. Interesting. Who thinks they wake up next? So Claw is up in the morning. He probably thinks he's being really quiet. But actually, yeah. Ruben, why don't you make a stealth check for me at disadvantage?
Disadvantage?
Yeah, you're a
15 and a 16, -1. So that is... Oh, no, I have a 0 in dexterity. So 15.
Okay, that's still pretty good.
I'm not trying to be quiet.
Okay, that's fair enough. Okay. You're like, are you actively trying to be like loud as you go, hoping to wake your party members up? Okay.
No, this is like when you're a kid and the Saturday morning cartoons are on. Like you don't actively want your mom to wake up, but also like it's Garfield and Friends. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like it's time to be up.
I was picturing instead the thing where like people are like tiptoeing around the room, but also like loudly, like every time they open a window, like something gets really loud, like they open a cabinet and a pot falls out. That's what I was picturing. This is probably a little more realistic. Okay, so with that being said, Claw is being relatively quiet, but not attempting to be necessarily. So you hear the clanging of pots and pans and the rattling of stuff. I think that maybe Lysandros, I think that you might be a bit of a light sleeper because you're used to being on the go and you're used to maybe having to get out of dodge pretty quickly. So I think you might be a sleep with one eye open kind of guy, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it makes sense. Lysandros can go from being like passed out, like seems completely out of it, to like someone being like, yeah, that's the guy, and he's awake and he's gone.
Okay.
So yes, he can be a light sleeper if need be.
So yeah, I think Lysandros, you're the first to wake up. So you hear the rattling. You kind of smell a little bit of cooking. You smell what the Claw is cooking, and you are. I think it's a pleasant way to wake up. It's pleasant. You're smelling it. It's not unlike having that brewed coffee scent that kind of fills the air. It's that kind of vibe.
So yeah, Lysandros will just get up and kind of shake himself off a little bit.
There's a plate that has a waffle with a blackberry waffle. Do you want anything else with your breakfast?
I mean, I'll just wash it down with a little bit of wine, but this seems great.
Absolutely. I mean, we have wine in the wineskins.
Don't worry, I've still got some on me.
Oh, perfect. While we wait for the ladies to wake up, I had a quick question about things in general. I am able to detect magical essences when I was, looking at the stone face and doing some other things, and I could not help but notice that your pocket had a little bit of a ping. Do you have a magical gift of some kind? That is unusual with those who I take on my tours, and I was curious if that was a thing you have stolen, perhaps, or a thing you were gifted by your patron.
I know I've already picked up something of a reputation among the group, and satyrs, people who tend to be in my line of work, do tend to steal things, but I'm not really much of a pickpocket thief type of guy, unless it's for something that I plan on immediately imbibing, like directly there. You have to understand, I don't really have many possessions. It's not something I do. Things that kind of weigh you down, if you have too many things and you have to run from somewhere, then, that just makes it harder.
I have noticed that you are more of a put pocket than a pickpocket, and that is confusing to me considering that this particular item, you do not put, you keep on your person.
Well, you probably mean my dice then. And he takes out his dice and just kind of like throws them up a little bit. Yeah, these actually are carved from my dad's hooves, which I know a little morbid, but you know how it is. Satyrs were strange.
Well, they grow, and you need to shave them down. I mean, we understand how they.
He was dead at the time. This is not hoof shavings level of.
Oh, okay. Well, that is interesting.
I didn't kill him myself.
No, I'm not. Yes.
All I'm saying is that I've carried these things around for a long time, and there's obviously some sort of emotional significance to them and stuff. So there's probably some residue magic in the whole thing.
Hearing, it's interesting. I meet people, and typically I can see the past behind their eyes, where they come from, how they developed. I can't imagine you as a child. I cannot do it. It is as if you passed through a gate fully formed in your as Lysandros. I cannot imagine what a young Lysandros, how that became what you are. Does that make sense? I hope that is not offensive.
Oh, no. I'm kind of the same way. I can't remember much about young Lysandros. That being said, I drank heavily then.
And I see not much has changed. So perhaps you did hatch fully formed like a hydra or something. Ah, good morning, Callie.
Good morning. Did you cook?
I did.
Oh
We
my
have
gosh.
delicious. Oh, get your 2 temporary hit points, Lysandros.
Got him.
Callie, I have a waffle. Would you like? I have blackberries. I have some. There's not very much in the way of sugary accoutrements, so it's a bit. That's basically the only option.
Yeah, blackberry's great. I'm famished, so I will eat anything.
Absolutely.
Thank
We
you.
have here's a waffle. We were just talking about our collective journey here, and I was pointing out that I typically don't have compatriots that have magical accoutrements on their persons, and my detect magic, I noticed Lysandros, and I've noticed D, and of course, I'm not terribly surprised that you have that thing on your face.
Yes.
That is magically imbued. I don't imagine that was taken from anyone.
No, this old thing, this is from Erebos.
Yes.
Yeah,
Did you
the
earn that? Or was it gifted?
It was given as a part of the job, let's say.
Callista.
Yeah.
Yeah, that answer was quite cagey, right? You were mad at me for being dead once. I am not mad that you didn't tell us that you murdered a would-be queen and then didn't tell us about it, and like other stuff in your, I'm sure, very complicated backstory. I was just curious. We are all friends here. You don't have to hold secrets. I'm just sort of curious.
To be fair, though, there was never any sort of like must tell people about potential regicide.
No, of course.
Our group.
That's fine.
agreement.
I just it once it became relevant to me because I got attacked, then maybe that is the time to share, right? You can have your waffle and think about it. That's fine.
Oh, hi, good morning, Dee. How are you? Did you sleep well? What did you dream about?
Oh, I dreamt about so much cool stuff. I dreamt that I was like this duck for some reason, and I had this like pool of money, and I would just like dive into it and then come out and be like, "Oh, it's all my money! It's all my money!" Oh, it was great.
That is quite the tale.
I have a nightmare that goes almost exactly like that.
Amazing.
And D, we don't know each other at all, really, but I noticed when I casted my most recent detect magic, your sword is magical.
Oh, yeah, it's totally badass, right? Look at it.
Where did you get it from?
Oh, dude, I got it from my homie Perforos. Woo woo. We're like best friends. We are like this. We're so great. We're so tight.
Cool.
Were you going to share that with us at any point?
You never asked. Plus, you
That's
like
fair.
never made food before.
That's a really
right.
good point.
Here's a waffle.
Thank you. Do you have any gold flake? I really like gold flake on my waffles. It just like gives it that real gold feeling.
I have some coins if you want to like nibble on a coin while I don't have flake.
I'll take a coin.
Sure. I'll reach into my bag and pull out a random coin. It might be gold. Who knows?
Who cares?
I'll remove one gold coin from my inventory. Yeah, I'm just, it was, I'm sorry, I'm removing a gold coin from my inventory. It's interesting, our individual relationships with our gods are unique, even between the four of us. I sort of have a traditional, I would say, devout, pious, sort of hoity-toity relationship. I understand. I know what I am. A what now?
I said you're like one of those people.
Yeah, I'm one of those people. Yes. If I did not have pamphlets for centaurs, I would have pamphlets for Nylea, and then people would tell me not to come into their house. Whereas Callista, it's more of a business arrangement.
Yes. That's
It's not
it,
really
exactly.
you don't really worship so much as you send in quarterly reports.
Yeah, I hunt stuff for the big bad, bring him back, and that's about it. There's no worship involved. I do not like the gods. I do not care for the gods. As far as I'm concerned, the gods are nothing but trouble, and I want nothing to do with them.
Spoken
Unless
like
I
a
have to.
spoken like a true Leonin.
Callie, I can't say I disagree with you, but I'm still not the type who would say it when there's like open air above me and things that could potentially hear it.
Yes, and Lysandros, how would you describe your arrangement with Phoenix?
I don't know. I think we just sort of like get each other most of the time, you know?
He's like he's not so like Callista has a handler. I kind of have a
Best friend?
No, yeah, best friend is good. Although I don't really talk to my best friend. It's more of like I'm a fan. I like follow them on social media. But Lysandros, you have a much more personal relationship.
In the sense that I don't have to change anything about who I am or what I want to do to have a relationship with my god. See, I decided that I wanted to be me all the time. And that involved not necessarily being honest with people most of the time. And it turns out there's a god that lets you do that. It worked out quite well.
Now,
You are being honest with us, right?
Sure.
oh, sure, why not? Of course he is. And D, I'm curious because obviously Nylea has had a big impact in my journey and our journey collectively because it has pointed us in a direction. Phoenix is, of course, the sort of end point with the mask and sort of sending everyone. Of course, Erebos has his fingers in the pie. I don't quite get Perforos's connection to you or to our group as of yet.
I don't know, man. Just like kind of sweet to me, like waffle stuff, just like coming out of her mouth as she's talking because she's disgusting because she's a bro. Sweet to me. I do cute stuff and tell cute stories, and then just sweet to me, like sugar. Like a dad that gives you sugar.
Ah, yes, a dad that gives you sugar. That makes sense.
I don't know about that.
We
I'd be
are,
careful.
and that is true. Dads that give you sugar, they might turn on you at some point. But we are, of course, I bring this up because in the distance you can see Mount Valus. Maybe we can see Mount Valus. I don't know if we actually can. Over there somewhere is.
Yesterday you couldn't really see it because it was it was like you tried to look for it, but it was a little bit too misty in the sky, and so you couldn't quite get a clear visual. But you know it's close, but you can't see it.
So Claw says, in the distance, we can see Mount Velus, and we all kind of turn and look at the fog. Like,
yeah, just pretend that you can. It makes the monologue better. You could. That is the home of Perforos on the mortal plane when he is here. So perhaps we will learn something more. You will learn something more. Anyway, I hope you enjoy your waffles. No, you don't have to pay attention and write anything down. I'm just this is more of like a hippy dippy kind of thing that I say. So everyone take their good berries for the day. I hope you enjoyed your waffles, and let us continue on our journey.
Real quick before we all leave, because you did sleep overnight in the cave that was the cave.
Right.
Ramparts. So I will say that you were there long enough and you're looking around for places to sleep and trying to find spots for beds that hadn't been weirdly necrotically changed into strange mushroom beds and stuff like that. I think that you've while looking for your beds, you found a total of 39 silver pieces.
Gross.
You found 7 turquoise stones that were carved with the symbols of random deities. They look like they had been there long before the lamp-heads were there. Those are worth 25 gold pieces each. So, doesn't seem like any particular rhyme or reason, just like a collection of god dolls, basically. You found a potion of climbing, and you found a spell scroll of sleep. So
nice.
What has happened there? So y'all are, I assume, hitting the road at this point. You're beginning to travel. Does anybody else in the party have things they want to discuss? Does anybody have like business that they want to address with the party?
How much is the silver, by the way? Sorry.
You've got 39 silver pieces.
Okay.
And
As Callie-
both worth 25 each, 25 gold each.
Callie's like cleaning up she's like cleaning herself off after the sticky waffles, cleaning her fur.
Okay. I'm giving you inspiration for the fact that you're not Callie cleaning yourself like a cat. That's
Amazing.
Of course. After she kind of like cleans herself off, she kind of like looks down, doesn't make eye contact with anyone for a second, and then just kind of says, okay, listen, this Seza, she might come back, and I don't know when or where she's going to come back, and I'm sorry that it puts you all in danger. I know that none of you asked to be involved in whatever her grudges against me. So if you want to walk away, you don't have to help me with figuring out this mask issue. I understand. But it is fair that you know I killed my sister. And yes, she was next in line to be the matron of our pride. I don't regret it. If I had an opportunity, I would do it again. If I could go back in time, I wouldn't change a thing. And that's all I have to say about it, and all I can say about it. I serve Erebos, and the thing on my head is a circlet to find my objectives. And yes, it is imbued with magic. Magic I will never use because I do not and will not use the power of a god. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
That was beautiful.
Yeah, that was very good. The details behind all of that aren't relevant, I assume, to us.
Claw, buddy, look, I get that you're interested in this stuff. But you gotta just kind of let it come out eventually.
I am just concerned that from what I know of my life in the wilderness is the things that I don't know can hurt me.
Yeah, but here's the thing. You're never going to know everything. I mean, if there's anything I've learned about lots of people, it's that everybody's got some kind of crazy dark secret. And if you're wandering around with any sort of like actual connection to the people around you, you've probably got a lot of dark secrets that got you there somewhere. And, you just kind of got to like trickle those things out a little bit.
Oh, we got rated. We got rated by F and Funny. Thank you for the
Hey!
Hello, everyone. Welcome.
That's Sandeep. Hi, Sandeep.
Hello.
If I thought you needed to know, Claw, I would tell you. But right now, I really don't think that information is pertinent. And honestly, it is not something that I am at liberty to discuss because it's not my information to tell. So, I
understand.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so let's figure out this mask thing.
Great. Let us continue on our path.
Great.
Everybody take 2 good berries. I will hold the other 4. And everybody take your long rests and gain 2 temporary hit points. And then we're on the road.
And just as an aside, Dee turns to Callista and says, family stuff is weird, right?
Yeah, it sure is. Do you have family?
Yeah, I totally have family. They exist. They are people who live in a town.
I understand.
Family stuff's weird.
Very. Just kind of nod to her and like, we don't have to talk about this. If you ever want to sword fight with me in the morning to kind of get some practice in, let me know.
Oh my god, I would love that. Oh, best friends. And then Dee tries to hug Callista.
Callista's just kind of like, reaches around and just like the awkward pat.
Best friends.
Oh, I love Ashlyn playing a character who doesn't like to be hugged. I love that. What a fun switch that is. All right. So you all eventually, I assume, leave the cave and you head on the road and you travel. You were told by Kia that it would take you about 3 days of travel to get to the court of Orestes, this lake, this river that's kind of been seeing the strange earthquakes somewhere in the region of the Catocthan Mountains. You are traveling there. So this is the third day. So this is the morning of the third day. So you travel for a while, and you actually do now enter the wilderness of the Catocthan foothills. And as you travel, you come to a gully that runs between some rugged hills. There is a dry stream bed that offers a route through the rising rocks, and a bend in the steep bluff hides what lies ahead. But you maybe would not know someone was there if it weren't for the sound of hacking, wheezing coughs that just sound like a rattle. It's just
All right.
Dinosaur. You hear that? It does not sound lovely. It does not sound delightful. Not necessarily threatening, just like someone did not get waffles this morning. Someone is having
Before we approach, is this... I assume that since this is the Chathans, that I know the passes and the paths through them. Is this the One-Eyed Pass? Is this some other smaller avenue?
It's not a regularly established path that people are taking tours and stuff through typically.
Got it.
You're kind of going to a little bit off the beaten path at this point. You're following the map that Kia gave you.
Gotcha.
I would say make a history check.
I'm going to use a reroll.
Rerolls?
History. +1 is a 17.
Okay. Yeah, I would say that you've definitely, I think you've probably traveled the Catocthan Mountains as part of the Centaurs, but I don't think it's a route that you are super familiar with. Okay. But you know the region, you know this area, you are, I believe, where did I say that you were last time? Let me look at the map of Theros.
We're way past human areas.
You are basically, you are a little bit west of Tethmos. You are kind of you're north of Satessa, and you are heading up towards where you're the river. I think it's called the Speck River, which kind of specks off in a few different pieces.
Okay.
Heading up that way, so you're definitely in the Catocthans, but you are probably a little bit more southeast of Tethmos. I said west. I would say you're east of Tethmos. You're east of Tethmos, and you are north of Satessa because you traveled.
Okay. So we're actually pretty far from Velis and the One-Eyed Pass. We're on the other end of the range.
We're very far away from that. Yeah.
Okay. We're much closer to. Yeah, we're basically in... You're
getting closer to the Skola Vale. Actually, if anyone in your party would really start to feel like land was familiar, it'd probably be Lysandros. And also, even to some degree, maybe even Callie, because you're south of Orescus, where her family would have grown up. And Dee probably knows a little bit, too, because Dee had been all over. So.
Just further from because I lived more towards the space between Satessa and Akros, west of here. So this is actually kind of out of my range. I would suggest that we divvy up this stuff that we found. I'm happy to put... let me put my accent back on. I am happy to put the silver and these turquoise stone things in my bags, my saddlebags of holding. You are welcome to them, obviously, at any point. My saddlebag money is your saddlebag money, but I figured that unless you want to hold on to them, they can just go back there. We have a potion of climbing. I do not need this. I can turn into a spider and climb instead?
To be fair, I think it would be pretty funny to see you try and climb things without turning into a spider, and maybe a potion of climbing could make that happen.
Just walking up the cave wall, that would be kind of funny. I do not think that is a terrible idea.
Would you need to use a potion of climbing on stairs?
Ooh,
That's a really good point.
Perhaps a potion of climbing stairs instead of turning into an animal. All right, you've convinced me. If you wish me to keep the potion of climbing, I will keep it. We also have this spell scroll that I cannot use. Can anyone else read the spell scrolls?
Nope.
My magic is divine in origin. So
I believe I might be able to.
I believe that both Dee and Lysandros are able to cast the spell of sleep. So I think that it's a spell they can both have.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I can. I've got kind of like a basic knowledge when it comes to spell stuff, mostly just, for funsies, but I can figure it out.
And I don't know if it is I don't know how scrolls work. So I'm just going to, I'll just hold it out. And whoever takes it out of my hand will get it.
Sandros will just grab it and kind of pocket it. Anyone needs it? It's there.
Okay, let's go see where this hawking and wheezing is coming from.
Oh, also,
that guy died.
Jordan, that reminds me that you told me before we recorded that you forgot to mention last week that you took a spell when you leveled up.
Oh, yes, I did. We were talking about our level ups last week. I also got another spell because I am an arcane trickster, and I took Charm Person.
Yeah.
That seems potentially useful.
Yeah, I believe sleep is a level 1 spell, so I think you should be able to take. I know bards can do it, so I don't know if tricksters can, but I think you can. So
I think so.
And I tend to be pretty lenient as a DM. I don't necessarily make the spell has to be in the spellcasting class, but if it makes sense, it makes sense in character.
Right.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Cool. All right. So are y'all investigating this sound?
Yes.
Okay.
I will be very cautious, holding out my Ikawa.
Okay. I will say, just around the corner, about 30 feet away from you, there is a small campsite, not unlike the one that y'all had the night before for yourselves. Although not in the cave, it is in a bit more of like an open clearing in the thickets. And sitting at the campsite is and actually I made a little, I'm just demonstrating it real quickly on the Roll20 if anybody wants to look at that picture or if Dom wants to show the audience. There is a kind of a clearing a little bit. There's a log, and then sitting on the log is an old tar. And when I'm talking old, I mean he is decrepit. He's garbed in ancient finery. It looks like a very lovely sort of like gown, sort of like a cloak that has like all the. It just looks gorgeous, like expertly sewn. However, it is worn to tatters. It looks like this was a really nice. This was haute couture 60 years ago or more. And on his brow, he wears a dented crown. One of his horns ends in a jagged stump, and he has not even been given a cool metal thing to put at the end of it, like our friend Askarok. But he has a rusty great axe that's in the dirt next to him. And sitting next to him at the fire is a 30-pound clay amphora, which is painted with the images of hoplites that are battling against a minotaur. Actually, they look like they're human hoplites for the most part, but that someone has painted them to look like minotaurs. And for those who don't know, an amphora is the terracotta pots that you often see in Greek architecture or artwork, whereas the pots that have the artwork painted on the side of them, they tend to have a round base, and then the top has two handles and an open thing. It's actually rather large. It looks like one of you could fit inside of it. Anybody except for probably Claw. Anyone whose size class is medium or smaller could probably fit inside of it.
That's a big amphora.
Yeah. So, and he's been carrying it around, and so he is sitting at the fire, and he has not yet noticed you.
So we don't think this guy looks dangerous or anything, do we?
He looks old.
Do we need to interact with him?
I don't want to wake him up. What if he stabs us?
Well, I think that we need to get through, past. It's going to be awkward to try to. Well, we could climb over, maybe. We could, but this is the only way through this particular mountain.
Oh, well, people camp out here all the time, right?
Right. and he's carrying a giant vase. Vase?
That's weird.
I believe that is an
weird.
amphora, actually.
Oh,
Well, actually,
all right.
suddenly you see him kind of look over in your direction because I rolled a natural 20 on my perception.
Nice.
And he goes, hello.
Too late.
Come join me, my friends. Come on over.
Well, I never say no to a fire.
Are we gonna catch something?
Wait, one moment, sir, friend, and I'm going to try to somewhat clandestinely pass out some like balaclavas or some like bandanas so that he doesn't cough on us.
Okay.
So you cannot be too careful.
You're gonna give him a mask? Cool.
Yeah, we should, and remember to social distance. Be sure to stay 5 feet to 10 feet away from whatever he is coughing. Okay, and then we'll. Hello, friend.
Hello.
Hail and well met, fellow traveler.
Sure. Oh, all right.
Would you like some tea? I can brew you some tea.
I would love some tea. That sounds. I haven't had a guest in ages.
All right, I'll pull out a tea set and I'll put a kettle on.
So you just camped out here,
Oh no! This is where I live. I've had a long go of it, and this is about where things have landed for me.
Huh. Well, I've seen worse situations. I mean, it's pretty nice out here.
Yeah, it's got that fire.
Yeah, so I used to live in a palace, but now wait. And then he looks at Lysandros for like a very long time. Lysandros, is that you, my friend?
You may.
You owe me money.
Okay, that does sound
a
like
lot of money.
Yeah, that sounds about right, actually.
Yeah, that's Lysandros.
Probably.
My
it's not good.
eyes played tricks on me. Looked the same as last time I saw you. That had to have been. He does this for a while.
Yeah.
That's a lot of counting.
That is a lot of. Yeah.
That's so many
You know
numbers.
what? There's a lot of people. I kind of am saying this to the others.
Counting, he like forgets what he's doing and then like remembers what he's doing again and gets back to it. So he's pretty occupied for a bit.
Look, guys, there's a lot of people who have my like general vibe and who go around and
I remember you said that to me last time I saw you. That was it had to be 60 years ago if it was a day.
Oh, well, no, wait. That explains it completely. Because satyrs, they choose their own name when they come of age, and I chose my name off of the rumors of a satyr that I greatly admired, who was called Lysandros, who I'm sure is who you are mistaking me for now, sir. Sorry, it doesn't look like I could have been around back then.
But you know what? Keep going.
This guy. So okay, and then Lysandros. I'm not gonna make you make a history check because I know the reason why I'm not gonna make you make a history check is that you told me that Lysandros has a book that's a ledger where he keeps track of every single debt that he owes. And
yes,
so,
he does.
You know that you owe a considerable sum of money to a king by the name of Antigonos, who was the king of a land that was in the Orienad Mountains.
Okay.
And,
That's nearish to here.
Yeah.
Well,
about a week's travel to the east of where we are right now, and you remember him as a king who served the god of war Mogis, the Minotaur god of war, and you know that you definitely did gamble in his court, and you definitely lost a lot of money to him, and you are in his debt.
Well, so it's clear that I can't be the Lysandros who, as it were, owed you money. But
No,
let's say,
I'll never forget a face in your face, especially a face that owes money.
okay, well,
I was once the king, and now I'm penniless, and
yeah. What
I would
happened
have
with that,
lots
by
of
the way?
pennies
'Cause,
if I had your money that you owe me.
yeah, well, what happened with that, by the way? Because you had all. I mean, as I've heard, you were all kingly and such. And let's say for a moment that if of course it's ridiculous that I could be that same Lysandros, but if I was in a position to have taken on their debt, that would be a great deal right now, wouldn't it?
Oh, well, I think at that point you may have to take it up with the citizens of my kingdom. See, I was cursed by Mogis himself because I chose my beloved child to be my heir. He was sickly, weak, which is against Mogus's will. So I was cast out of my kingdom, despite my claimed throne.
Yikes! That's a tough deal.
Lysancros, my good friend. So good to see you. I haven't seen you, and it has to be at least. And he starts counting again.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Well,
Okay. Have I heard of this kingdom or this king before?
Make a history check.
13, I think. 13.
Okay. I think that here's what I'll say. You have not heard of his kingdom.
Okay.
You have heard rumors while on the road as the traveling adventurer that you are and the leader of the centaurs. You have, and not to be confused with the leader of the centaurs.
Centaurs, yes.
You know there have been rumors about a king that lives in the mountains and he believes that the true heir to his kingdom will fit perfectly inside an amphora that he carries with him, and that once he finds someone who will fit inside the amphora, they will become the heir to his kingdom.
Okay.
So you have run across many a fortune-seeking traveler in the past who has been looking for the broken king Antigonus in the woods, trying to find the king with the clay pot that they can hide inside to become the king.
I will take the kettle off of the fire. I typically go with more of like a slippery elm or a chamomile for sore throats, but as a minotaur, I assume you need something a little bit with a punch in it. So I made you some
Booze.
Oh, we have booze as well.
Oh,
Yes,
definitely, yes.
Yeah, we
I
got
was
one.
hoping that. Well, here, let me pour you some turmeric tea, and then you can wash it down with your booze chaser.
Turmeric sounds delightful. Lysandros.
Hey, so
I haven't
Andy.
seen you in 60. You owe me money.
Wait, 60? 60 what?
Years. I was a wee one when you owe me money.
all right, okay. We've established that. Now, look. Here's the thing. Do you feel like you're like close to death?
Are you gonna
I know that's not a nice thing to say, but
That is a wild thing to say.
here's the thing.
what if you are the heir to my throne, and then maybe the money you owe me is money you owe yourself, and then it wouldn't be money anymore.
What? Okay, you know what? I actually very much like the logic behind that, but I've got my own heirdom to deal with.
No, it's a good idea. And he picks up his amphora and starts to move towards you with it.
As this happens, I will say to Dee and Callista, I've heard this tale before. I think this is the Broken King, who thinks that the heir to his throne will fit inside of the thing that he's about to put Lysandros in. Let's watch.
This will be interesting.
It should be fun.
Oh no!
I don't know. I don't know what is. This is just very funny to me, though.
Lysandros, do you resist being put into the thing, or do you go for it?
Definitely. Lysandros jumps around trying to avoid being put into the amphora.
15 gold pieces. He fits.
Okay,
What?
I'm going to make an attack roll against you. It's not going to do damage. This is like a grapple check, basically, to see if he's able to use it to get around you.
As he's doing that, Lysandros is like, you can't just bet 15 gold pieces. You need to at least say the odds. Come on, no one's going for a straight 15 gold piece
I
bet.
don't know. I assume it's just like a double or nothing kind of deal. Hold on. Let me help you out. I'm going to cast Spike Growth on where Lysandros is.
Wait, does that do damage?
Yeah, it does damage. I'm just going to cast, but it also slows him down. I'm going to try to slow him down.
That's not fair.
Are you going to have to roll initiative against your own party at this point?
Sure. Why not? Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, you know what? Fine. Everyone who wants to be part of this and wants to take turns, roll initiative. I'm going to roll initiative for...
All right.
Ooh, I rolled a natural 20 on my initiative.
Oh my god, okay.
Callie is taking no part. She is just watching.
Okay.
Well, I got an 11.
I rolled 5.
Okay.
Amazing. I'm so excited.
Okay. I think I can do some more. I think I can make this easier now. Let me get that.
I can move my guy here.
Yeah, you should be able to have control over that. Okay, so Dee, are you doing anything?
Dee is watching. Dee says to Lysandros, I'm going to take the money, but don't do it. I've heard that being royalty really sucks, dude.
Yeah, no, I'm on that train. Don't want it.
What's your initiative modifier, Ruben?
0. So I rolled a 20.
Callie, you're not doing anything. Dee, are you doing anything? Okay, Lysandros, what is your...
What? Sorry, what? I couldn't hear you.
What was your initiative?
My initiative was 11.
Okay, great. And then Dee, are you doing something?
I rolled a 5 for initiative.
Okay, cool. So I will go ahead and set that up, and then I'll put everything in order. Right. And I love this is turning into a combat. This is so funny. All right. Okay. So Lysandros, sorry. So everyone, go ahead. I'm going to move you up closer to the fire because everyone did kind of say they were coming up. So I'll say that he is kind of chasing Lysandros. We'll say that they're over, kind of to the right of the fire. I think Lysandros probably ran away, and the king is carrying the amphora now. And I'll say that you're kind of closer to the path that came in. Callie is standing back, and I think Dee is standing back. So you're watching it, and I think he kind of moved towards Lysandros. Lysandros, you ran, and then he started following you, and that's when we jumped into initiative order. So we're going to begin with claws. So you are casting
Spike Growth. So I have 150-foot range. So I and it's a 20-foot radius of spikes that become difficult terrain for the duration. I'm going to place it. I'm going to just sort of place it where Lysandros is going, away from Antigonos. All I want for this to do is to bottleneck Lysandros' jumping options. I just want to get him in the thing. So I'll just cast it in front of him. And so in front of you, Lysandros, there is an area of sprouts and hard spikes and thorns that looks like if you walked into it, it might hurt a bit.
So Lysandros is running towards it, tries to do it.
You said 20 by...
20-foot radius. So 40 feet by 40 feet circle.
Okay, okay, cool. So that is basically now encompassing the fire and the trees beyond the fire, and probably falls just short of where y'all are standing. Okay. Otherwise, everyone can take that. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want anyone to be in it yet, but I want to block off Lysandros with like a thorny hedgerow.
Cool. That makes a lot more sense. So I'm going to. I just want to make an idea of where it is in my head. So I'm just going to put in my mind. I'm going to do something real quick. Okay. Yeah, I have an idea of where it's at now, and I think that.
I really want to see him get into the thing. The thing. I think it would be hilarious.
Cool. All right. So,
you got this, Antigonos. I believe in you.
So,
I also like you, Lysandros.
So, Lysandros, if you move any more forward, you will be walking into this spike growth. Okay. That was your turn. Now it is Antigonos' turn. So then he takes the pot and he's going to try to make an attack roll on you. For you, he is very weak, and this is being done at disadvantage as a result of that.
He's going to fall.
But let's see here. +6 on his roll.
Nice.
Also a disadvantage because he's weak. But he rolled very well. So his attack with the amphora was an 18. That's his disadvantage roll, which does beat your AC.
Nice.
Is only 14. So the effects that you have right now is that now you are considered restrained inside of it. And on your turn, you can make a DC 14 check to see if you escape it on a success. If you don't, you are still restrained inside of it. So that's all you can do on your turn is try to escape it.
Well, here's my question. How well does it fit?
That's going to be a fun question, and I will find out on your turn, which is your turn now. So why don't you go ahead and just roll a D20 for me and tell me what it says.
Yep, that seems fair. So this thing is like come down over my head, basically. Yeah, so it's just trying to like jump around and get out of it and stuff.
Raid! Fable 42, just raid.
Hey, wow. Thank you.
Raid.
All right, so I got an 8.
You got an 8. So let's see here. What does an 8 get you? An 8. You are too small. You are too small, and so you are inside of it. You fit all the way in it, which I guess makes sense because I think a satyr's a little bit smaller than like most humanoids.
Sure.
So I think it's medium, but I think you're like a light medium. So that is going to be both of y'all's turn.
Is he king yet? Has he been made king yet?
He seems to be a bit small for the. Do you do anything on your turn?
Yes, there are, I assume, rocks around where we are, right? Like little tiny rocks. I take a rock. I'm bowling for Satyr. I take it back and then I throw it so it rolls on the ground, hoping that it will hit him in the feet and knock him over.
He's currently in. Okay, so I think. Okay, yeah, I was thinking that he flipped it back over again, but I'll say that it hasn't happened yet.
Right.
So so go ahead and I want to say Lysander has partial cover at this point because he is inside of a vase.
Come on, if I don't get anything else out of it.
Yeah, so go ahead and make a roll, make an attack roll at me with disadvantage.
Okay.
Or at Lysandros, yeah.
At Lysandros, where is it? Ooh, boy, I rolled a 2.
Yeah, so you try to do that, but you forgot there's a fire pit in between the two of you. And so you basically just chucked a rock into the fire, and that's what happened there. All right, and now we get back to the top. So now, Claw, what are you doing?
I really want him to fit somehow. Can I'm going to, I suppose, like, tiptoe around my own thorns. Oops, excuse me, pardon me, my own thorns. And I suppose if there is like Lysandros' head peeking out of the top of this amphora or something?
I think my feet.
Or feet.
I'm assuming it went over.
Put it down over him, almost like a giant clay pot.
All right,
hat.
I'm going to hoof bump I'm going to take my hoof and bump Lysandros' hoof, and I'm going to cast Guidance.
Okay, so you kind of go
on
around
Lysandros. So you can roll a d4 and add it to one ability check of your choice. I don't know if the d20 roll counts as an ability check.
The D20 does not, but he does have. Yeah.
Question: can I use? We have an auto critical. Can I use that to force Lysandros to roll a 20 on this d20 roll? I don't know how this works.
Good question. I'm going to say no, only because we already rolled to see if he fit.
Okay,
and
that's
he did
fair.
not. I think if you had done it before we checked it, I would have let you do it. But because we,
Okay. That's fine. I'll just cast Guidance. I will cast. Oh, it's concentration. Never mind. I won't cast Guidance. I'm just gonna hand Antigonos a good berry and say, "Hey, would you like a boba? This is great."
Yeah.
And I'm going to eat mine like popcorn and watch. That's it. That's my turn.
So that's now it's the king's turn, and so the king is like, I think that I can make him fit, and then he tries to solve the problem of the unfitting satyr by scooping up several pounds of dirt around the amphora and beginning to dump them inside the amphora to fill up all the extra bits of air that are in between
Okay.
sides of the amphora. So that's what he's doing on his turn. And so now, at the start of your turn, Lysandros, I am going to need you to do two things for me. First of all, I need you to make your actual if you want to try to resist the being in the amphora. So first, you need to roll me a dexterity check to see if you can escape from the amphora, because he's still filling it up with dirt as he goes. But
it's a good thing I didn't cast Guidance. I wanted to stay in this thing.
Okay, I'm gonna try and I'll try and get out before I get buried in some old Minotaur's amphora. What was I rolling again?
You're rolling a dex check.
Okay, so that is 14.
Okay, you just made it. So you were able to start pulling yourself out of the amphora.
I think you should roll at disadvantage because I said so. Okay, well, never mind.
Yeah, if I could make if y'all had used a certain thing that you unlocked last week that you haven't used yet, where you can make any roll into a critical, then I would have forced disadvantage. But because you haven't done that yet, I don't have the ability to do that.
We're good.
So, and unfortunately for me, Lysandros has not yet used his fool's dice in a way that I can force disadvantage on either. So, who is the more the foolish, the fool or the fool who has dice? So he looks frustrated. He's sad that you don't seem to fit. Then he looks over at D and he goes, "Maybe you are the one." And he starts moving towards D with the amphora.
No, thank you. Super good, real chill. D starts like backing up slowly, like, no, I'm good. I got like this, I got a sword and stuff. If you need somebody to like do a kid's birthday party, I'm your gal. But all of this royalty stuff, count me out. Thanks.
I don't know. And Lysandros is going to snap his fingers and do a quick illusion.
Wait till we get to your turn in the order.
Okay, yeah.
So D, do you do anything? Because it actually is your turn initiative right now.
Oh gosh. I pick up another rock, and this time I try bowling for old dude because I don't want to hurt him. I just want to trip him.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
So I throw that at him. Let me roll. And that is I rolled an 8.
Yeah, that's not gonna do it. That's not his AC. So yeah, I think you roll it, and again, it just goes right in the fire. And he's like, that rocks don't burn, right? I don't feel like you're trying to smoke my campfire, but you're not doing a very good job.
Well, I'll stoke a campfire in a different way if that helps make me out of this, huh?
Hey, that is a good one. High five.
High fives.
That was pretty good.
Speaking of high fiving, Claw, it's your turn.
I'm going to I'm going to think back on my history and think we can get out of this situation if one of us fits into the thing. I don't really want to kill this senile old Minotaur. But, I mean, we definitely could. But I really don't want to do that. So I'm going to be like, what animals can... and it'll occur to me. I assume I've seen an octopus before.
Okay, yeah. Are you turning...
Yeah, I'm going to wild shape into an octopus.
Okay.
In the middle of this canyon.
Does wild shape allow you to not have to breathe underwater to be an octopus?
Ooh, good question. I can hold my breath for 30 minutes while out of water.
Okay.
Yep. So I'm going to turn into an octopus and climb into the thingy.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's a choice. All right, so you are in the thing.
Yep.
And then he looks. So now I need you to roll a 20. I need you to roll a d20 for me.
Okay. All right. I'm hoping. Man, I don't know what numbers mean.
Do you want to use your one-time crit so that you fit?
Team, this is our one-time, one-season crit.
No, this is the. Oh yeah, this is the thing that's like yesterday's, last week's unlock, where you get a crit, but then there's an unforeseen consequence.
The dictate of the twin gods or something. Yes.
Yeah.
Right. I'm
Do
asking.
we want to use it to inherit a kingdom?
I don't even know if it's a real kingdom. I don't know what we get. What's going to happen if we do this?
I mean, it was a real kingdom.
Also, I don't know if I want to be the king of a thing.
Well, you're in
I crawled in.
People who I don't want that. I'm good.
Yeah, we're a whole party of people that don't want to be king. I mean, listen, I'll use it if you guys want to use it because I think it's hilarious.
Do what you think Claw would do.
But it's our team's natural 20 is the thing. Like,
I'm interested. I say go for it.
All right. The octopus, which can fit through tiny spaces and fill big spaces,
go for it.
Is gonna fill the Cinderella's slipper, and I'll use my natural 20.
Okay.
Or my crit or whatever.
All right.
Octopus claw. And so you ever see what are those called? Blue ringed octopuses? All of the stripes and striations on the octopus are my wards. And the head has the overall bow and arrow design on it.
Awesome.
And I'll fill up the amphora.
And then he drops to his probably in need of replacement Minotaur knees. He drops down and he just starts to sob tears of joy as if he's just been freed from this obligation that he's been stuck with for so long. And he just is like, I'm so happy.
Actually, I'm still an octopus, so I will just I'll just do this with two of my tentacles and be kind of awkward.
Do the anime touch with two of your tentacles.
Yep.
You, my octopus friend, are my rightful heir. And so, and if he will allow you to remove yourself from the amphora, and he gives you the opportunity to if you would like to transform back into your form, you may.
I guess I will. I don't have anything else to do as an octopus form.
If you want to say octopus, you can.
I'll transform. I'll transform back into claw.
Okay. I mean, you can
be I'm suddenly very thirsty.
This same thing is also funny if he does it to you as an octopus, but he basically takes his decrepit robes he's wearing and chucks them around your shoulders. He puts this rusty crown on your head, and he gives you a little belt pouch that you can look at later if you want to. And he bows to you and he says, "My liege."
Yes, that is me.
And then
All hail King Claw.
long live Lysandros, my old friend. You owe him money. And then he bows to Claw one last time, and then he makes his way out of the clearing. And he's like, I am gonna go visit the city. And he leaves, and he's very happy.
Hail.
Oh, do your thing. Play.
Oh yeah, Callie will turn and yes, all hail King Claw, and she'll do a little flourish and bow, and maybe elbow D.
All hail King Claw. Dee does a curtsy with her warrior stuff. It's surprisingly good curtsy. It's actually very, very low down.
This is very okay. I'm very uncomfortable now. I'm going to put all this stuff in the bag, I think.
As you look through the pouch that he gave you, you know that the crown, even though it's battered, it actually looks like it's made of a pewter and a silver, so it actually is worth some gold.
Okay.
And you know the amphora because you know a few vintners because of people like Roth and stuff you know a little bit. You know that the amphora, if you want to carry that big thing around, is worth about 25 gold. And then in the pouch that he gave you, it's basically a backpack that he was wearing as a belt because it was too small to wear as a backpack for him. It holds 16 copper pieces and then a carnelian stone, which is worth 75 gold pieces. And there's an etching of a bookish-looking Minotaur youth, who assume was probably the sickly child that he gave us. So that is the Broken King of Antigone.
So I'll put the crappy crown and robes in the bags, I guess. I assume I can't fit this giant thing, this amphora, in the bags.
No, you probably have to carry that on its own if you want.
How heavy is it? How big is it?
It's pretty. I mean, it was big enough to hold Sandros.
It's true. It's gigantic.
Yeah, I'd say it's probably pretty. It's made of terracotta, it's like a clay pot, so it's probably pretty expensive. I mean, heavy.
Well, that was weird, friends.
Yep, sure was. So Lysandros opens up his book and kind of discreetly goes through and scratches out the name of the king and writes Claw under it. And then kind of shoots a glare at Claw without him noticing.
What you doing there?
Oh, just making notes to be careful when I am in this area of the world because people accuse you of crazy stuff.
Yeah, crazy. Who was that Lysandros you named yourself after? What was so special about him?
Oh, you know how it is, satyr legends. They're not like the human legends you people throw around. People go do great deeds and stuff like that. Satyrs are people who trick their way through society, kind of get what's theirs after a while. And apparently the Lysandros that who knows you might have heard stories about is just someone who tricked fate so that they can't die. But it just seemed like a good role model to build myself off of. I could say.
Huh.
Oh, before you move on too much, suddenly King Antigonos comes back and is like, I almost forgot that before I go, let's have a toast to my good friend, the Swift Giant 49er, who said, let's find out if your show and my home office work comes together. Show! And then he bows again and heads off into not being water.
Thank you, SF49er.
Thank you.
Right, cool. Yeah. For the toast. So yeah, Claw is now the king of a small hamlet somewhere in the mountains.
What was the name of the hamlet?
Oh, you didn't learn. You don't know.
Oh,
We don't know. Yeah.
Oh, good. Great.
Yeah, no,
So
you've never heard. You'd heard legends of the king, you heard
fabulous.
rumors of the king, but you don't know what. Yeah.
You're just the king.
And he didn't. and he didn't say, "I'm just a king of something."
You know someone who does know, but he also is acting like he
sure.
Yeah.
All right. Well, do we want to take this thing with us? This giant amphora? We could leave it here. I mean, I assume Roth could use this thing, but we are not headed back that way.
Roth could use a lot of things.
Like
This is
personality,
also,
yeah.
yes, and some,
but it's fine.
and some dopamine. I assume
somewhere Roth is going. I think someone was thinking of me, but I guess they don't care that much.
Roth sneezes.
I should have done Roth as the recap for the episode.
Oh, God.
Always good. You've got a good roster of NPCs to do recaps of now.
So, you won yourself a kingdom, Claw.
That is what I certainly expected to do when I woke up this morning.
It's a lot of responsibility.
Yeah. I didn't really think it through. I was just sort of having fun, and then it sort of got out of hand, and now I have a kingdom, theoretically.
I may not have actually known that guy, but I'm kind of from around here, and I might kind of know the area that those rumors started at. His kingdom is from. If you want to go see if you actually have any vassals or anything.
Oh, okay. We can do that maybe later. Let's do that later.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
is it in the same direction as the court?
No, it's about a week's travel back west.
Oh, okay.
Either
we'll do that later.
Yeah, I want to get this mask figured out sooner rather than later, because the longer I'm in this area, the more chances we have in running into Seza and other ex-friends, and I just would like to be gone.
You have more friends coming. Great.
Hopefully not. Hopefully not. So yes, let's leave as soon as possible. Yeah.
I am with my best friend Callie. And then Dee does another very deep curtsy to Claw. Sir, if you would like to lead the way, our liege.
That is enough of whatever that
very
is.
good curtsy.
Why thank you, bestie.
I already hate this. This is why I do not want to be in politics. And Claw will continue to, I'll make sure that the campsite is cleaned up and that the fire isn't going to catch anything. And then we'll move on our way.
Okay, that sounds great. You are all able to travel onward for a while longer without any particular issues. It's pretty. We got raided by Inkland the Liar or Inkin.
Nice.
Inkin Liar.
Thank you, Liar. Thank you for the raid. You travel on, and you make it. You travel for about the rest of the day, and you eventually arrive at and arrive at so following Kia's directions, you reach what is known as the Kistonos River. It's a riverbed that is nearly dry. There's like a muddy trickle of water that goes through it because there was once a more mighty river here, but it got dammed. And you follow this lethargic flow of water for the better part of the rest of the day. And you eventually get to a bend where several prominent rocks jut forth from the mud. And these mark what you believe from the description you got from Kia are the entrance points to the Court of Restus. Now, I have, just for the players, I put a picture of kind of the idea of this in Roll20 to see an idea. If Dom wants to show the audience, you can do that as well. This is kind of just this is actually not the official work. It's just like it looked closest to what I had in my head, but I do want to give credit to the artist who did this map. It is someone whose name is, I believe it's 2 Minute Tabletop is the name of the person who does this. So I'm using that. And also the last one, the Antigonos campsite, I actually got off of, it was a Reddit, and I got to find the name of the person now because I used somebody's map, and it was a Reddit user named Audiot who took some of the things that were in the Theros story and made maps for them. So I want to give credit to those, and that is fun. That's super helpful to have. So I would say that in the real shot, like I think that the river does kind of curve off. So there's a bit of a skull shape in the picture here. I think the mountains do have a natural skull shape, but it does not look like somebody has carved a skull out. This is not like the Satyr face part 2. It just looks like some holes and some things have broken up in the mountains here. And yeah, this is where you're at right now.
And it leads into a cave?
There's more of a you don't know for sure. The water does seem to kind of trickle off. You have to look around more to see if there's a cave entrance, but you do know this is the Kistinos River. This is kind of where Kia had told you to go. So you know that you are very, very close to where you're trying to get to.
All right. Callie's going to pull out the mask again and kind of reread to rejog her memory, and totally not Ashlyn's memory of what it said.
Oh, great. So let me go ahead and rejog my own memory of a thing I did not think about this episode. So
oh, no!
I may have it written down.
I have the adventure in front of me, so I can get to that. I was just not expecting to have to do that all of a sudden. Okay. What it said was, hid from the eyes of mortals and gods lies wither in Orestes' rot. And what you know from what Kia told you is that the mask was worn by a man named Varius, who was a devout follower of Phoenix in life, who died a very, very long time ago and somehow has come back as a return. And you know that everything else on the mask was unable to be discerned.
Deciphered.
But you remember that, according to the myth, the site held something known as Phoenix's silence.
Okay.
So no one knows that name is an actual object or a poetic flourish or anything along those lines.
But we have the key isn't finished to finish the decipher, and whatever it is will be here. Supposedly.
Yeah.
And you said Phoenix's silence?
Phoenix's silence. Capital S. Like it's a title. The Phoenix's silence. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, we're here. So whatever we're looking for, this silence thing.
Yes.
So at this point, the river is a little bit more full of water, and it's about 2 feet deep. And if you go through the river, it does count as difficult terrain. It can be forded, but it is difficult terrain because you're in 2 feet of water. And yeah,
the third option is that we hire a guide to help us across the river so that our Conestoga wagon doesn't tip over into the. Okay.
And I would actually say that, Claw, for you, this whole area is going to count as difficult terrain because it is very muddy, it's very rocky, it is not solid ground, so you are going to have trouble walking. You're going to be difficult terrain this way.
I'm like a stripper in 10-inch heels. All right. I guess I'll just sort of make it work. Like I'll slowly move because. So is this like climbing for me? Is this like stairs? Because in the description for centaurs in the book, moving over things that are typically easy requires essentially 4 times as much movement for me.
I'm not going to say it's like stairs. It's just like uneven ground. So it's like you have to kind of be a little bit. I'm not going to say 4. I'm just going to count it as difficult terrain as if it would and it's just
that's fine.
Ground, rock. It's just things like because like.
It's like cobblestone as opposed to.
There's mud, so like you have to make sure you don't slide and slip and fall as you walk. It's that kind of stuff. Yeah, and as
we'll start walking in, or
guess so.
Well, who wants to lead the way? Does anyone want to? Oh, as we approach the river. Sorry.
Suddenly, you see starry shapes start to appear in the water, not unlike the shapes that appear when your friend Claw throws on his Nyxborn cloak. And suddenly, out of the water, thank you very much to our chat for unlocking a card last week. Suddenly, 3 Nyx blessed Seaguard, which are basically Nyxborn. Essentially, they are Nyxborn Tritons. Suddenly form out of the water, but they are all wearing the kind of like gold mask that you often see Returned wearing. And Callie, you actually get a sense of a feeling of like not full on returned, but you get that sense like this is somehow like the same kind of magic that is often lingering on returned when you're fighting them. Everyone, roll initiative.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
As Callie sees them come up, she's kind of like, oh, great.
Your Kelly sense is tingling.
Yeah, my Callie sense.
Not really important for me to reuse to re-roll an initiative, so I'll just keep this one.
Yeah.
I rolled a 9.
I got a 15.
Okay, hang
Me
on.
too.
Okay, I'm gonna put you all in the initiative order, and then you can just go ahead and add your numbers in there since everybody's in roll 20. So if you also want to click on the number.
I don't think it's letting me edit.
Okay. Okay. So I'll do this real quick. Hang on. What did you have, Claw?
4.
4. Okay. What did you have, Lysandros?
15.
And what did you have, Callie?
15. I have 0 modifier.
I have
What's your
3 modifier.
Okay, I'll just put you 16, so that way you're in front of her. And then D, what'd you get?
I got a 9.
A 9. Cool. And then let me just see what the Nyxborn guys get. They are going to roll their initiative, and they are going to get 12. So I hate when I put things in and they don't save. Okay, so I had a what'd you have again, Claw?
4.
Great. And then we had 16 and 15. Cool. Boom. All right. So these things all suddenly pop out of the water at one time, and they look like they're not happy to see you. So they start moving towards you, and Lysandros, you get to go first.
Okay, so what's the foliage situation around here?
There are some rocks that you could probably hide behind. There's like some bushes and stuff like that. So if you wanted to attempt to hide, I think that you can hide behind like a bush nearby, like along the river banks.
I guess
You're following a mountain river pass. I'm going to say that you can probably hide behind some boulders and such.
Okay, you know what? I know it's getting a little samey as far as my battle tactics go, but I think hiding just works super well.
Listen, you do what you know.
Yeah, so Lysandros sees those people and just with the force of instinct, just kind of leaps up from where he is, kicks off of a tree, and like bounds around till he's trying to be behind a boulder.
And as you land, suddenly 46 people from the Lark Network show up because they just raided us. So
So many raids tonight.
Yeah, we're
Shields up, everybody.
Amazing. Thank you.
So Lysandros, so you do that, and then do you do an attack or anything on this turn, or are you just trying to hide right now?
If I can, if I successfully hide, I'll do an attack out of it.
Okay, go ahead and make your stealth check.
Okay, so my stealth, I got. You know what? I'm gonna take a quick reroll on that one.
Yep.
I got a 3. It wasn't very good.
Thank you, reroll.
Thanks, reroll. Okay, so I got a 19.
Okay, go ahead and so you are hidden. So yeah, you have hidden.
All right, and then I will, after having hidden.
Now, one thing I want to say moving forward, you don't know in character if you're successfully hidden or not. So
sure, good point.
I'm gonna have to like stop letting you do that because that is a thing that's like a little bit metagamey. So not on purpose, but you know what I mean. Like so.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, I'll take the shot anyway.
Yeah.
Out of it.
Yeah. Yeah. So for now on, if you're gonna hide and shoot, you're gonna have to shoot regardless. If you're gonna call that shot ahead of time, I'll make you do the attack as well. So.
Sure.
Okay.
All right. So my shot that goes out at the first one is a 24.
24. That definitely hits.
So I just launch off a one of my little shooty arrow things, and that will do that'll do 16 damage.
Oh, that's pretty bad to it.
Jeez.
Yeah, that rolled really well. I got a 6, a 5, and a 2.
Yeah. So he actually looks pretty rough. He actually does not look like he liked that very much. He looks pretty mad. So yeah, he's not happy. Okay. So you said that was 16 total?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. And that's going to be. Are you going to do anything else on your turn?
Nope, I think that's it.
Okay. Callie, you're up next.
All right, Callie's not even going to grab her shield. She's just going to go straight for the great axe and dash right into him if she's near them.
Okay. Yeah.
Or not even dash. She doesn't need to dash.
Yeah. Even with the rough terrain, you can definitely make it to the closest one to you on your turn.
Sweet. Oh yeah, she'll dash them because she has mobile. She's mobile and she doesn't take rough terrain issues.
Yeah.
If
But
that's
I don't think you need to dash. I think you're
Sweet.
close enough in range that you can do it without dashing. So you can
Cool.
save that.
Callie moves in. She's gonna swing with the great axe because she wants to, and she's gonna be like swinging. All right.
Yeah, do it. Are you attacking the closest one to your party, the one that Lathanos just attacked?
There's 3 of them.
Yeah, there's 3. There's one that's pretty close, one that's kind of in the middle, and one that's still pretty far away. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Since it's the closest, and then I'll just move my way down. Yep. So I will hit that one. Actually, can I move to the other one and still attack? Like I'm looking at it right now, and like.
Let me just see here. What's your movement?
My movement is 40, I believe.
Yeah, you can make it the other one still attack.
Yeah, I'll do that then for sure. 45. Okay. I can move 45.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, you can definitely get him. Okay.
Cool. All right,
Okay.
so I attack and I make a 16.
Okay. Describe your attack.
Sweet. I will run up to it with my greatsword and I'm going to be like, just try to swipe across the chest right now.
Okay. I would say your 16 does hit. So describe what you do to this guy.
Sweet. I damage 6. I have my greatsword. It's 2d6. Cool. All right, so I'm gonna look at him and be like, "Not today. I have a date with Erebos, and I am not about to keep him waiting." And I will slam my greatsword down across the chest, give a roar, and deal hopefully 14 damage.
Nice.
Ooh,
It's a lot of damage.
Rough.
And it's slashing damage because I'm a
that's a lot.
slasher.
That's right.
So it is now slow.
And then what is that benefit?
So it has
Cool.
reduced speed till my next turn.
Okay. That's good to know. All right, now it is Dee's turn.
All right. I am going to take out my sword, and I believe I'm in range of the first one.
You can move to be in range of them. Right now, you're still kind of far back, but if you move up, yeah, you're definitely within range of that first one.
Okay, so then I go in.
25 feet
Perfect.
from you, of 30 feet, right?
Yes.
Cool. So you're up next to him.
I go and I just start. I take out my sword and I do a very brave sounding battle cry, which is just
That's a brave sound.
Perfect.
what is that brave noise coming from that large woman?
Callie looks back and nods.
I take out my sword and I just start, much like Callie, because now I have someone I'm trying to be like. I start just slashing at that one.
Okay.
Nice.
Roll your attack.
I love it.
And I rolled an 8.
Yeah, that's not going to do it. So
Darn it.
D runs up and you're like, and you go to slash, but like you are trying to mimic a Leonid's claw attack with your sword. And so you kind of like completely wildly miss because you're using a much more strength-based weapon than the cat. Like you're not using an up-close fighting thing, you're using a physical thing. And so you're not really using it the way you should use a sword, and so you whiff and you miss this guy. Do you do anything on your bonus action?
I do. I'm going to go ahead and I've got some bardic inspiration. So I'm going to walk over. I'm sorry, this is such a me and Callie love fest happening. But I turn to Callie and I just go like, "You are one of the best fighters I've ever met. You are a warrior and you're my best friend. And I believe that you can do anything that you want to do." Reading Rainbow.
All right. So
I love it.
Callie now has bardic inspiration. So I'm just going to put a fun little, I'll put a heart on Callie so that All right, and that is going to be Dee's turn, and now it is the fish boy's turn. So
Ooh,
the one that is right in front of D is going to go ahead and take a swipe at D with its spear. So let's see what happens there. That is an 8, so that misses, I assume. D, yeah. I don't think your AC is 8, so it misses. That's his turn. Now, next one's going to go ahead and take a swipe at Callie because she just hit it and it didn't like that. Didn't like that one bit. So it's going to go ahead and take a shot at Callie with its sling, with a spear. It misses as well.
I'm 16 right now, by the way. Just say.
Yeah. He rolled a 10.
Okay,
so,
sure does.
And then the third one that's a little bit further back is actually going to attack with a sling. That's why I said sling. So it's going to fire at Callie as well because she's the scary cat lady that just came running up to attack his friend. And he crit fails. So not only does he not hit you with his sling, he drops his sling. So that's going to take him up again. And now it is going to be Lysandros' turn. Oh, sorry, Claw's turn. Sorry.
Well, all of my plans were heal whoever was hurt. Nobody's hurt. Give guidance to somebody. Nobody's.
Heal the sentries. You're welcome to heal.
That's true. Okay. Give guidance to somebody. They all ran away from me. So I'm just sort of standing there, just like, I guess, well, this is, I don't usually do this, but, well, here we go. It's time to do centaur things. And I'm going to like do like a rev up with my hooves, and I'm going to cast Hunter's Mark as a bonus action on the one that I can charge, and then I'm going to charge it with my hooves, I guess.
I want to point out that D is in between you and him, so are you going to be able to charge him without hitting D?
Do I have an angle on one that isn't?
I would say not with your terrain issues.
Oh, right. I have terrain issues.
The one that's only one that you would not be running through D or Callie with is 40 feet away from you. The one that you would have to get, you have to move about 20 feet to your left and then charge up to get the one that's by D. So you won't
but it's difficult terrain. All right, I'm not going to charge. I will move. I have 20 feet of movement, right?
Yeah, you have 20 feet of movement. Yeah.
I will move as close to one of them as I can.
Okay. I think you can get to the one that D is fighting right now.
Okay. I will get up to that one.
Okay.
And then not charging, but I will just hoof it. I'll hoof it over there, and then I'll hoof it with my hoofs.
Okay. Go ahead and make
my hooves are natural melee weapons, so that is what I'm going to do. And it's Hunter's Marked. 17 to hit.
Yeah, it hits.
Okay. So that is a D4 plus 2 plus a D6 for the Hunter's Mark.
What kind of damage is the Hunter's Mark damage?
The Hunter's Mark damage is the same damage that the attack does.
Okay,
I believe.
Making sure it wasn't magical.
Yeah, same as the weapon attack.
Okay.
That is a 3 on the D4, a 3 on the D6, plus 2 is 8 total bludgeoning damage.
Okay, so you hoof it, and you get a good old impact right on it, and you just see it cave in and collapse because it is kind of a mix of Nyx magic and returned, and so then that decay just collapses and it falls down dead. So that one is out of the picture.
That is a thing I was not expecting to do with Claw this campaign, but here we are.
Yep. So he's gone. Okay, that is your turn. Lysandros, it's your turn again.
Okay, so Lysandros is going to... so Lysandros is actually going to duck behind the rock that he was at, and he's going to start, casting a little bit. And basically, I just want to make an illusion of, another Lysandros who's crouched down behind the rock with me, and then I just want to have it run. So that one of them will either think that I have gone, or maybe notice that... I'm going a different direction. It's not going to run straight away. It's going to run perpendicular to how the fight is to maybe try and draw some.
Is it going to run up towards the caves and stuff, or is it going to run away from where you all are currently?
Yeah, you know what? I'll have it run towards the caves because I know they need to try and block that.
Okay,
Lysandros, wait for us! You're going too quickly.
Okay, so yeah, I'll say it gets about.
Can't make any noise.
Okay, so it runs. Okay.
We aren't ready to go in yet. You have to wait.
Okay. So it is doing that. And do you do anything else on your turn?
No. Besides that, I will just actually I'll hide. I'll get back into.
Can you do cunning action as a hide when you didn't do an attack?
Bonus action.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. I wasn't sure if you had to do an attack for the cunning action to come into place or not, so that's good to know. Okay.
No, I think it's just a bonus action I can do.
Go ahead and make your stealth check for me. Advantage because you did distract them with a decoy yourself.
Oh boy. Well, that's a 10.
Okay. So you duck down behind the rock, and as far as you know, there is a version of you running along. All right, Callie, it's now your turn.
All right,
One
so
is dead.
sweet, but not the one in front of me that I'm attacking, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Cool. So Callie's already taken the great sword once and smashed it across the chest down. And so now, since it's combat and everything's in like a matter of seconds, she's going to try to bring it straight back up and see if she succeeds. I'm going to use a reroll.
Okay.
Thank you, rerolls.
Thank you, rerolls.
We'll use a different dice.
4 left today.
Oh, that's really bad. Okay, so
Oh no.
You did get inspired.
how does that work again?
I forget how the rule that I had to make sure the inspiration doesn't negate.
Oh,
the
no,
reroll.
I meant bardic inspiration, not...
Yeah, you do have the ability to
Oh.
add a 6 to your roll.
Yeah.
D6 you can
It
roll.
is really confusing that the D20 thing is called inspiration, and then there's a thing called bardic inspiration.
Yeah, that maybe should have been how they did that, but yeah.
So if
no.
I use a reroll, I have to use the reroll number, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, bardic inspiration isn't going to help here. I rolled 3.
All right.
But thank you.
Yep.
What's your total?
Yeah, so Callie's going to try to bring it back up, and the momentum's just off here, and she kind of just like, and she just completely misses with it. Just
Okay.
too fast.
Yeah. So yeah, you do that. You try to swipe at it, and then it's like it doesn't. It's not very happy that you did that, but it's very happy you missed it. But I have to try to attack it. That is its turn. It's your turn. I mean, now D, it's your turn.
Okay, so I believe I'm going to cast Enthrall. So I'm going to, there's 2 of them left, right?
Yes.
Okay, so with Enthrall, I'm going to turn to the one that was just talking and just like, you will not believe what your friend has been saying about you. Oh my God. Dude was like, you're not really Nick's born. Like, you know, he said some really horrible things about your mom or dad or cousin. He said some really horrible things about somebody that you really like. It was really, really awful. And Dee just keeps talking about all of the various different ways in which gossip has torn asunder these three mighty warriors.
Okay.
That's amazing.
Wow. Okay, and what is the save on that?
The save on that, they have to do a wisdom save.
Wisdom save. Okay, and what's your spell save DC?
My spell save DC is, come on, get back to where I can find you. Mine is, it's wisdom 13.
Okay, I roll. Now, can you cast this on multiple targets or just one?
Just one.
Okay, so you attack. Is you cast on the one closest to you, the one that's fighting Callie right now?
Yeah, because it's got to be in range.
Okay, it rolled an 18, so it did resist your spell.
Darn it.
But it does look pissed at you because you said some mean things to it, and so its feelings are really hurt. So, like,
Which,
that's
a plus.
You haven't had a magical effect on it, but you have made an adversary today.
You are living in its head rent free now.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Yes.
So, because of that, now it's going to be. Do you do anything else on your turn? Any bonus actions, anything like that?
Oh gosh, I definitely, now that I done made him mad, I'm going to go ahead and give Klaus some bardic inspiration. I'm going to turn to everyone there and go, this man is the king, yo. Y'all didn't know? We're hanging out with King Claw. We've got royalty here. What you got? Nothing. And then I duck.
That's right. Bow down.
Yeah, duck.
All right, and then that is going to be your turn. So Claw, your bardic inspiration. Now it is the sentry's turn, and so the first one is going to make an attack on Callie.
Yep.
And Callie, I just rolled a natural 20.
Hey,
Woo!
look at you.
D,
So-
I think you pissed it off.
Yeah. So
My
you are going to take 12 piercing damage. And you were also going to take. Hang on, I'm gonna roll this again because the way that this did the. Ooh, no, it did actually work. Okay, so you took 12 piercing damage and you took 7 poison damage.
Ooh.
Ooh, how does poison work again?
In this case, you're not poisoned. It's just a type of damage. So if you're resistant to poison, then you would be resistant to it. But you are not.
Sure.
Yeah.
So that's what is that? 12 plus 7 is what you said?
Yeah. So it was 19 total. You took 19 damage total.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not poisoned. It's just a type of damage you took.
And the waffles hit points come off first, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Cool. All right.
Thank you, Waffles.
Yeah.
Thank you, waffle.
And then the second one, it's now its turn. I am going to roll to see if it defeated Lysandros' stealth check. And it did not. So it is going to try to attack the duplicate of Lysandros, and I'm not going to roll to save time. It total sling, and I'm just going to roll to see if it hits it, because if it does, then that means it does it. It knows it's fake once the stun goes through it. So I'm just going to roll.
Because if it doesn't hit it, I can get another turn out of this.
Yeah, it missed, so it actually has a chance. I rolled a 14, and that's your AC. So I'll just say, even though I know runner gets the save, but I'll say that in this case it missed it. So
thanks.
If your spell works. So
John Toe 7 just gave us a nice little tip. We might be.
Maybe unlocked a. We did.
Excellent.
We may go just a little bit long tonight. Hope we won't go super long. Maybe 10-15 minutes. But I just want to wrap this fight up.
Yeah.
I have one more thing I want to accomplish.
Welcome to Saving Throw Show. We might go a little long tonight.
We also run a shorter show than usual with this one, so it's kind of all right. So that is their bugger's turn. Now it is back to Claw. It's your turn.
Bonus action, move my hunter's mark and horse kick another mer person, I guess.
I think you can make it to actually. If you want to do your charge this turn, you have a clear path.
Well, I've got a bonus action, move the hunter's mark, so I can't actually use the charge, but I'll just do the attack.
Okay.
Don't need the inspiration. This is just a 21.
Are you doing a ranged attack or a close-up attack?
No, this is a hooves attack.
Okay, cool.
At the one that is closest to me.
You rolled 21?
Rolled 21 to hit.
Yeah, you hit.
And this is going to be 9 total bludgeoning damage from my hooves.
Yeah, so now Claw has the king. The king is really doing some damage today because the king just out a second one of these guys. So another one comes down, and another one, you might say, bites the dust. So
boots.
This one is dead now as well.
It occurs to me that I could actually probably find magical horseshoes for Claw. I need to be on the lookout for those now. But yes, I will stompy boots this Triton.
Yeah. So he is dead now. So you kind of run up, you hook another one, you knock him down, same way the other one dies. You kind of cave his chest in a little bit with your hook.
How much movement did I use?
You moved, I think 10 feet. So you have another 10 feet you can go. For the sake of time, I'll say you can get up to the other one. I'll say it's a little easier for you to move in the water because horses actually are pretty good swimmers. So I'll say you can move in the water just to save time.
I will stomp up to the other one. Stomp. Okay.
Cool. All right. Now it is Lysandros' turn again.
Okay, so one of them is still up, right?
Yeah, and he is now engaged with your friend because Claw moved up to him. So yeah.
So I keep my...
Actually, he did not succeed beating your stealth save, so you are hidden from him as well.
Nice. So I'll keep
all the advantage.
Dummy Lysandros running, ducking, and weaving to head towards the cavern, just to keep the thing's mind off of the battle as much as possible. And then you know what? I'll kind of pop over the rock and set my arm up and find a good thing and try and weave it right past Claw and see if I can hit this thing.
Okay.
Natural 20 right off the bat.
That hit. That does hit.
Ew, yikes.
Wham, wham, wham.
Jordan?
Destroy it.
Yeah, you know what? I want to let you have this roll. So go ahead.
Yeah, this is going to be quite a few damage.
Remember the way that we were doing critical hits was that it's just maximum.
Damage.
It is max damage. That's true. Okay, so what is your normal attack dice?
It is 3d6 plus 3.
That's right.
So
okay.
That's 21 damage.
Okay. Oh wow.
That's just the sneak attack, right? Or is that
no,
that's with the sneak attack?
2d6.
Okay.
Yeah, I only have 2d6 sneak attack.
Gotcha.
My normal.
Okay.
attack.
It is not dead, but it is hanging on by a thread. It is boys. It did not care for that at all.
So I like to at least imagine there's a moment where it's like trying to fight with Claw, and it like looks back to like see the satyr that's gotten back, and then turns just in time to see me release the arrow, and notice suddenly that there are two of me, and one of them goes like boom, and just like hits it right.
Yeah, it is. Ooh, it did
And
not care for
Claw,
that.
who thought that Lysandros was over there, sees that he's actually over there, and he goes cross-eyed.
Yeah.
What?
And
What?
our poisoned and our poison damaged friend who has taken a beating, Callie, it is now your turn, and this guy is looking like a stiff breeze will knock him over.
Beautiful. All right, so Callie's gonna wipe the blood off of her and march right up to it, dragging her greatsword through the water. And then as she does, she's gonna kind of bring it up over her and just try to slam it down on top of this thing.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
All right, 21.
Oh, you know what though? Suddenly you feel like your sword is heavily weighed down by the god Mogus, the god of war, because your party invoked the god Iroas earlier, and he's pissed off that your party used the power of his brother to attain a kinghood, and so your awesome attack critically fails, and you actually drop your sword in the water.
Oh, no.
You miss this attack because I had to use that.
Yeah.
My other side of that coin at some point, and otherwise it would have happened. That is
That's the
fail.
dictate of the twin gods.
Yeah,
Okay,
that is
okay.
fail.
So
And
go ahead. Oh, okay. So
however, you do have the ability to make an extra bonus attack with your claws, right?
yes, yeah. So I watched that drop, and like me being the trained lioness that I am, I watched that drop, and I kind of, for a moment, I'm just like, what the? Because I realized like that was nothing to my control, and I was like, damn gods. And then that was just for a second though. And then I recover and use my action surge and kind of look at the thing and snarl. And then I'll just use my action surge and swipe at it. And let's see if I hit. Do I need to re-roll that? 17?
That hits.
Yeah.
Let's see how much damage I do with my claws. 1d4 plus 3. 7 damage.
Callie,
Hey.
please describe the grim demise of this half Nyxborn, half Return Triton.
With pleasure. Callie drops a sword, snarls at it, brings her left arm up for almost like a hook. But she slams her claws into its water starry face and just kind of like she wants to crush its returned face with her palm, with all the hate she bears for every return she's had to drag in for the servitude of Erebos that she will have to live out for the rest of her forsaken life, and just crushes it.
And as you do, it falls into this pile of just rotted carcass. It smells of rotted fish, and it's just disgusting. And you look at your party, and they're not moving. They are frozen. And suddenly, the air around you feels cold and chilly. Callie, what was it like the time that you reached out to Erebos and you asked him for the power to murder your sister? How did you reach out to Erebos the first time, and what was the experience like when he first appeared to you?
Callie, she was desperate. She knew she didn't have any choice, and at that time she felt completely alone and very desperate and like she had no other choice. Very cold, probably like now. And she knew she had to get a hold of the god of death somehow, and she, through all her disparity, I think she went to she's not proud of it, but she went through and kind of went on a killing spree, killing like on like a hunt, not people, but on a hunt, trying to invoke the god of death to get his attention. And when she did, well, she got a minion's attention. She got through to him eventually.
Okay. Yeah, I think that you, by doing that, at the time, you were that was the first time that you spoke to Macraeus, who has been your conduit to Erebos ever since. So occasionally in the form of a dead body. So the feeling you have right now is the feeling you often have when a corpse turns and looks at you and speaks to you in the form of Macraeus. So you are expecting now suddenly for this Triton to maybe start talking to you and give you a job. But that doesn't happen. What happens instead is previously when Phoenix appeared gave your party a sign, and when he appeared to Lysandros, the world disappeared of color. That's happening now to you, but it's not like a monochrome coloration change. It is like as if the colors around everything are rotting and dying. The way that like when the leaves change and the seasons change and things are dying, the world is being drained of life. And you feel that chill, that wind. It just feels like in your bones. And Macraeus does not come. And suddenly you look up, and standing before you is not Macraeus, but Erebos himself, who is pulling himself up from the water in front of you. And
can I see this as well? Can we see this?
You are all frozen.
Okay.
You are all like being held in place. It's like someone has cast a very powerful hold person spell on all of you. So it's almost like time stopped for Callie.
Mm.
My little lion cub. Hands drenched in your own blood. It is time at last that we speak to each other face to face.
Erebos.
Callista of the shadows.
To what do I owe this pleasure?
Oh, my cub. The pleasure is all mine. I enjoyed watching you and your friends defeat these aberrations of Phoenix.
Look, let's cut to the chase here. What do you want?
Always impetuous. Callie, I'm not such a bad guy. I know that I have a bad rap, the whole death thing and all, but you have said yourself that you believe in the natural order of things. That's all that I am. I'm but a middleman between life and death. I'm just here to guard the line, not unlike yourself.
No.
You have
Oh no, please, Your Grace. Continue.
you have slain many at my request, and you have done well. I have enjoyed your skills. But I am not looking for thralls. You owed a debt to me. Blood for blood, life for death, death for life. And you have paid those debts. In this cave, you will find the secrets of one of my rival gods, Phoenix. He is planning something that even the rest of us cannot see. You travel with someone who has defied my grasp for far too long. Someone who bows to Phoenix. You travel with someone who was given grace from my grasp. And sorry.
Are you talking about Claw? Yeah, about the Lampids, by the way. Do you know what's going on with them? Because they're just like everywhere, running amok right now.
Phoenix has corrupted many of the followers who should belong in my domain. The Lampids you have fought are his followers now. I can't recall them. But your friend, Claw, is not who I was talking about.
What do you mean?
Claw survives with my permission. Nylea and the River Guardian and I all agreed that Claw's death was premature due to the same Lampids that you had defeated. And now he walks amongst mortals again, provided that when called upon, he help my agents and the agents of the River Guardian as well.
So you're saying there's another among us that... Oh, I'm getting so tired of all this. There's another among us that...
Indeed.
Is supposed to be dead.
Quite a long time ago. Callie, that's not what is important to me at this moment. What's important to me is that inside this cavern is the key to unlocking these mysteries. And so I say this to you now. When you have finished your quest within this realm, this cavern, you are free of your obligation to me. But I want to make you an offer. I don't want your answer now. I want you to think about it. I know how you feel about gods. I know, but I also know how you feel about the natural order of things. If you continue to serve me willingly and be my champion of your own will, I promise you that I will give you power and bounty larger than you have seen before, and I will give you the ability to protect your friends and the people who love you. Because I don't want the dead before it is their time, and you have the ability to prevent that. So I thought it was time for you and I to speak. And I bid you farewell, Callista of the Shadows. And then he vanishes. And he pours himself into the water. And suddenly the color begins to refill itself into things around you. And
your party is suddenly active in the exact moment that things seem to stop.
Ah, good hit, Callie. You did such a good job.
That's my best friend.
All right. Well, this is the temple we're supposed to be at, right?
Yes, that was a bit. That was a bit unfortunate that we ran into some sort of.
Oh, I'm sorry. I had some toast that I wanted to get through before we left. So some toast that I had. Sorry, it's a thing I have to do.
Yeah.
Vampire 54 said, and in rejecting the power of King Claw has once again proven to be the best choice for the position. All of it, King Claw, hail! And Yonto 7 says, gotta unlock that Lysandros tier. Job tonight, great job tonight, everyone. The girls have already reached their best friend phase, and the boys are head over hooves in debt.
Yes.
Lost quick in Theros. Okay, now I'm actually going to go because I have a lot of things I have to do.
Yeah, you get to do that, boss.
Fair.
Yeah. But again, think about my offer. I would like to have you on the team. I would give you some gifts, but you don't have to. Don't say yes or no right now. Think about it.
I won't lose sleep on it. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. All right, back to now. Boom! Everyone moves again.
Whew, okay, well, that was very that was unexpected. Okay, so the sun is going down and the moon is coming up in the distance. We have a few hours before bedtime. Should we continue on inside, or would you like to take a breather out here first, maybe?
Hey, look.
You know what?
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, this is a place we were supposed to be. If those things were guarding the entrance, I mean, I kind of want to go in.
Oh,
I'm going to say that you don't necessarily know where the entrance. You know that the entrance is somewhere near here, but you haven't quite figured out where it is yet. So I think we will end there tonight. I think we'll end with the moment of Callie's god fading away, and so everyone keep your stats where they are. No long rest to now, but we will stop there. However, we did get an unlock tonight. That is, but I will say you have arrived at the Court of Orestes.
Great!
Yay!
That's a cool moment for everyone. And we unlocked a thing where I did not really tell him ahead of time what he was going to have to do. I just kind of told him he might have to improvise at some point in the show. So our friend Jordan, who is a skilled and trained improviser, has been unlocked the tier that I called Careless Celebrant. And Jordan, I need you to improvise me a quick tale of a scrape that Lysandros found himself in, and perhaps how he got himself out of it.
Okay. All right. So Lysandros is the sort who likes to get really like chummy with the people that he doesn't exactly scam, but like certainly gets to build a lot of expectation of money coming in from him. So one night he was out with another group that was kind of like this, like they had been traveling for a little while. And at one of the okay. They had been basically exploring through these like a series of different caves to like try and find who even knows what it was. It's the sort of thing where it's been a while, but basically there was rumors that some sort of like magical thing was in the back through one of these caves.
Magical MacGuffin. Gotcha.
Yes. And so the whole group had been arguing the entire time, and Lysandros had sort of like gotten tired of everybody in this group. Everyone had gotten it all started out chummy, but eventually people started to get a little cutthroat, and Lysandros realized this is like the time to like get out. And so as they were going down the caves, Lysandros, who traditionally would sort of check ahead of everybody else, because he's a little quieter than the rest of the people and has some good instincts for traps and things like that, even though he doesn't have to use it all that much, goes into the next room and notices that there is a door that is just clearly trapped in front of them. And he goes out And so this is to the point where he's basically like he's been with this group, but at this point, he's not even there by choice anymore. So when the group got into the next room, Lysandros kind of like set up an illusion beforehand and basically just made a pedestal with the thing that everyone was looking for on the other side of the whole thing. And he as they went in, he's like, look, we found it. All right. And he offered to go like check the thing. I'll check it for traps. I can just grab it first. And the guy who's the leader of the group grabs Lysandros by the chest and is like, you think you're putting your hands on it? And throws him back against the wall. And he's like, we don't need you anymore. We found what we came here for. And the guy goes up and grabs the thing that's supposed to be the chalice, which is actually just like a very obvious pressure plate. You know? And as soon as he steps on it, both the walls just go kablam!
Oh my god!
And smash the guy there. At which point Lysandros goes, oh my god! I didn't expect that to be, and just turns and runs out of the cavern.
I love that's a story of how Lysandros murdered his way out of an awkward situation. Like, how did he escape an awkward conversation? He had someone murdered.
Yeah, that's like the first scene of Temple of Doom, right? When the guy just gets
Exactly. Yeah. But here's the trick. If the guy had told Lysandros, go check it for traps, like, you know, we're still cool, we're all on the same team, then he could have like dealt with the situation and moved forward. But Lysandros knew the guy was going to screw him over at that point. So
he's really the throw me the whip guy, and I love it. Very good. Thank you. That was on the spot. Thank you for cooking that up for us.
I love it.
Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Thank you, Mad Bird Streams, for rating us there towards the end. Thank you so much for that. And of course, we want to thank Hero Forge again. We want to remind you that we have a charity show coming up on February 7th. It's going to be a one-shot with this entire cast that you see here.
Right.
Special guests Kyle Shire and Allie Gertz. That'll actually be from 7 to 11 that night, so you can get yourselves your Slurpees and your
long show.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. And we also want to remind you that on the Save and Throw Show channel, you can check out an all-new Pantheon Academia, which is our anime-inspired RPG with, of course, our friend Stephen Pope, who's going to be running that this coming Sunday at 4.
Yes, Stephen.
And we also want to remind you that you can check out every episode of this show. We have a link tree that Dom will post in the doobly-doo. And, of course, Broken Pack coming back when this season of the show is over. That'll be February 15th. We'll talk more about that in the coming weeks. We announced it last week. And let's go ahead and go around the table and say goodnight to everybody, to the fine folks. We'll start with Ashlyn.
Hey everyone, again, I am Ashlyn Rose. You can find me on Twitter as Ashlyn Rose, and you can also find me on Instagram as RAR, it's Ashlyn, and on my website, ashlynrose.com, where you can listen to my voiceover demos.
Excellent. Ruben.
Oh, hi. Didn't see you there. My name is Ruben Bressler. I'm the internet's Mox Ruby. You can follow me everywhere at MOXREUBY. I am the Dungeon Master of the Broken Pact. You can search for hashtag The Broken Pact RPG, which does return February 15th. I'm also the Dungeon Master for Tales from Tetheria. Hashtag Tales from Tetheria, which is a YouTube D&D show with a bunch of familiar faces of YouTubers, Lasercorn, Joven Shire, Mari Takahashi, and Noah Grossman. And those episodes are every Saturday. And I'm also one of the co-hosts of Magic Mics, the weekly Magic the Gathering news show. That's MAGICMICS, Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. Pacific.
All right, Danielle.
I'm Danielle Radford. You can find me on Twitter at Danielle Radford. That's usually if I'm plugging anything, you can find me there. Watch the Zonus trailers. I help write them, and they're kind of funny, I think.
Yeah.
And Jordan.
Hi, everybody. My name is Jordan Pridgeon. You can follow me online at Jordan Pigeon on the Twitter. And I'm around. I do stuff.
Great.
All right. And, of course, I am Riley Silverman. You can find me on Twitter at Riley J. Silverman or on Instagram at Riley Silverman. And I think that I'll let my promo of the February 7th episode be my promo for the night. However, we are sending a raid over to Wasted Space when we are done with this game.
Yay.
So we'll say hi to them. But before we leave, just want to give a big shout out to our benevolent overlord, Dom Zook, putting up with all of us.
Yes.
We adore him. And thank you all in the chat for supporting us with our unlocks tonight. We actually had a lot of fun tonight because of unlocks from last week. both the nemesis that they fought, the Nyxborn Sea Guards, and also the appearance of Erebos happened because of audience unlocks. So thank you so much for contributing to our show and helping us to tell fun, interesting, and chaotic stories. And we love you all. Thank you. We'll see if we have 2 more episodes of our regular season of this show prior to the one-off special for the charity, and we are excited to be back for all those. So we will see you
Fantastic.
next time. Have a good night.
Bye. Also, the cat says...